desires to address the board is Mr. Dan Landi. He will be speaking to us about school board policies. Mr. Landi, like I said, just fill in your name and your address, and then state your name and address for the audience, and then Dr. Robinson will be giving the time.
Okay. I'm Dan Landi. I live in rural Caldwell County. I've got a Kidder address, but I'm in the district. The kids are grown, thank the Lord. But I can answer Ms. Philly's couple of her questions real quick. And I agree about the First Amendment, Ms. Philly. But I'm here talking about policies, and the board, we just heard the board take their oath of office. We all said the pledge. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with those things. And back to Ms. Philly's point, this isn't based on a religious preference. We're talking about a violation of law. Missouri, there's two Missouri statutes in particular. Officer Palmer is on the job. I made a report to him about this. He's looking into this. This isn't a personal vendetta. This isn't a religious, crusade. This is about providing pornographic material to minors. Most all of the target audience in a school are minors. And so that's what this is all about. Last month we talked about this. We had a meeting. The school board acknowledged there were questionable books that they need to look into. So you acknowledged the problem or potential problem, and you suggested, okay, we'll look into it. And that was great. We appreciate that much. But then recently I just went on your website and found out that only two of the 80 books that you have listed as questionable have been looked at. And I don't think the reviews are even complete according to your website. 2 of the 80. At that rate, we'll be here for, we'll be doing this for years. So that's one of the policies I would like to ask your consideration to maybe change so we can expedite this process. I also spoke to Mr. Robinson about this a while back. And he said that we talked about this law. Again, in my opinion, as a prior law enforcement officer, I'm focused on the law. Not that I'm, trying to police everybody, what everyone does and thinks and says and places they go. But in this particular case, again, we're talking about protecting our children. And this just happens to be Child Abuse Awareness Month, April, So it's all about protecting the kids. Mr. Robinson told me that he told Ms. O'Boyle, the high school librarian, when this new law kicked in, 573-550, it's a Missouri state statute, 573-550. When that law kicked in last August of 22, he said that he had told Ms. O'Boyle to comply with the law to remove visually explicit or pornographic type material out of the library. And I think he just took her at her word that she was going to. Well, apparently she didn't, because you're looking now into 80 questionable books. So we know that there's some still there, and that's a problem. So Mr. Robinson formed a book review committee, and that's again by your policy. And anyway, so there's some conflicts of interest on the board. Mr. Erdman, Ms. O'Boyle, and Ms. Beasley, I think should be replaced, because they were assigned to review the material, and now they're on the board to. They allowed the books in. Now they're on the review board. So anyway, thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you for your comments.